So last year I found myself working with many children with sensory processing disorders on top of an autism diagnosis. So I found that when these clients came to me, often they would present as being either sensory seeking towards specific instruments or completely sensory defensive. So I needed to find a way to transfer these skills, the skills that they had learnt to overcome these sensory needs in other environments such as the home or within their school. So in mid-2019, I consulted the speech therapist that I work with as well as an occupational therapist to understand more about how and therefore what instruments would be most ideal to target specific areas of the sensory processing experience. So the music therapy, I then created a music therapy instrument kit that really highlights a whole different areas of sensory needs. So, for example, I've got one here. So this is called a cabasa. So it's a South American instrument and has metal beads around a round shaft. And for example, working with a child who came in quite sensory defensive towards this instrument, what we would do is demonstrate it on myself first or on the parent, and then slowly use it on the child, and then week by week get the child to have more exposure. I guess it's a bit like exposure therapy, really. Mm-hmm. So yeah, getting them more exposed to using that instrument. So the child that I was working with this instrument that really highlighted this specific instrument anyway, ended up by the end of the music therapy term that we were working in, he would go up to the cabasa initiating play himself with that, whereas initially he'd started absolutely freaking out by any kind of touch to it. Yeah. So it's quite a cold instrument. The metal is quite cold. It's I don't know. I guess it's an individual kind of feeling, really. It's a sensory experience, so we can't really explain it for everybody.
Right. Just like some pieces of fabric might be really uncomfortable for someone, and that's just their own individual senses.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I created a music therapy instrument kit, which is available from my website. A shameless plug here, musicalmonkeys.com.au, or going into COVID, the land of COVID, which we're all going through, which is awful. I've kind of had to pivot, I guess, in terms of how I've seen my clients and how the delivery is done, and that's via Zoom telehealth sessions. So I was able to. I lost 3 of my jobs, which were in schools, and then the other 2 days were at the clinic. So I was able, thankfully, to transfer the clients that I see at the clinic to telehealth. So in that time and space that I had, I guess I was able to really think about what was missing, and I felt that people in rural and remote areas in Australia, across Australia, I discovered how that they are on these waiting lists for months and months, even years, to get to see a speech therapist or an occupational therapist. And I thought that, well, this is an opportunity to really meet their needs and try and capture that area, I guess. I guess it could work not only just in rural and remote areas, but anywhere in the world, really. Mm-hmm. So I created the musicalnest.com, and basically it's about promoting the use of the kit that I created, the music therapy kit. And as well as, consultative, online, accessible music therapy.
Cool. What would a telehealth music therapy session look like?
So the clients that I was able to transfer to a weekly session, they all purchased the kit through their NDIS funding. So that was great that they were able to have something at home with them, so that if I said, all right, grab the castanets now, we're going to work on, isolating the left hand and then isolating the right hand, and I might play a melody that is rhythmic for them to join in within. There's depending on what I'm working on in terms of the goals, it really depends on how it looks. Like, for example, it was just this week, Monday, I worked with a boy who's 9 and higher end of the spectrum, I guess, and really struggling socially with his friends and school, and having meltdowns because of the social differences, I guess, that he's having. And we created a song, we wrote a song together about friends and what we do, and how good they are, and how, when you have them around, they're really great and everything. When everything's working, it's really good. But when it's not working, what do we do? And trying to work through problem solving and what he feels would be a good solution in these times.
Yeah. I think increasing coping skills during this time is so important for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Our kiddos here have only just gone back to school for a good maybe 5 weeks now. And yeah, it's a really tough time for everyone, but for kids to try to understand this. And, I think the behaviours seem to come out more because maybe they don't not understanding why everything's so different. And yeah.
So Pam, could you hold up the music therapy kit to the camera so people who watch the video can see it, and maybe just talk about the different instruments that are in there? You've been watching Autism Knows No Borders. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so let us know what you think in the comments section. Click here to watch this interview in its entirety. You can also find us on your favorite podcast app. Tune in each week for engaging conversations of how people across the globe are inspiring change and building community. Thanks for watching. Take care.